All right. I think we are live. 2 seconds now.
Super.
So I'm just going to go and say, hello, everyone, Facebook, YouTube, and all the amazing friends. Hope you are all doing amazing today. We're going to go live with Alberto, my co-host, and the one and only Jason, also known as Jay Loh, CEO, founder of DubAir, this evening. Hi, Alberto and Jay. Hope you guys are all cheers today. We will get to know the future of DubAir and the visionary evolution for it. Now, remember, if you have issues commenting on Facebook, you can quickly shift over to YouTube for a better comment response. So, Alberto, go ahead, take the mic, and then you can pass it to Jay.
Hey everyone. Happy for me it's Saturday in the morning. Happy good evening, good afternoon. However you guys are. Thank you guys for joining. We're also going live on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe to help get us followers. And then I'm excited today because Jay has so much passion in this product, and we've already done 3 or 4 lives with Jay, from VoiceAir to DubAir. I just got access to DubAir. I started playing with it. It's pretty cool. I see that I had to go back because Jay has, and Jay's mentioned it many times before, really go in and read
the knowledge base.
The knowledge base stuff that he has set
is very
up.
important.
And that stuff's very helpful to get it right, to get it to come out the best quality as possible. So I'm excited to learn more and to see all the progress that it's made, because it made progress from the start before it even released, and now it's still making progress. Before, you could only do 1 person. Now I think you could do 4 people. So Jay's been doing a lot of hard work over there with a lot of things going on. I'll pass the mic over to Jay, and Jay can comment.
I thank you guys. I appreciate that. Like you mentioned, we've done a few lives over the past 6 months, maybe a little bit more, particularly obviously with VoiceAir, which has considerably progressed from where we were in September when we launched. And I think if I just give a brief intro into our progress without sort of pitching VoiceAir, but when we initially launched with VoiceAir end of September last year, it was a very basic application. It just offered with the voices, cloning, music and video. And today, within the space of nearly coming up to 5 months now, we now have Air Assistants in there, AI translation, upload documents. Will by this evening, a little bit of exclusive for you, by this evening, everyone will be able to do text to image via DALL-E in there as well. So the reason why I've mentioned that is because to bring it back to DubAir, and when we literally only started DubAir in November, and what we've seen from our community and from you guys is, I think what I could have done better was to really manage people's expectations a little bit more than what we did. But we were so excited, and the content right now is a lot of the content that users are creating. There was a really fantastic review put out by a lady last week or the week before, and she was blown away. She sent me a personal message. We've actually communicated after the post, hadn't spoken to her prior to that. And what we want to do is to make sure that people that have invested in the LTD up to date, the early adopters, we want to make sure that the people that are continuing to invest within the LTD. So we've got about 68 left. We launched the additional, we allocated an additional 75. And what we want to explain is if you don't know who VoiceAir is, please check it out. And join our community. And what our goal is to make sure that what we've done, it's pretty much a blueprint. What we've done with VoiceAir is fantastic. This is predominantly the developers that have done this. I'm just sort of steering the ship, if you want to use that term. And what we're going to do, and even more so now, because when we launched VoiceAir in September, we weren't in a really strong financial position. Come December, January, not from just the LTD, but from Vision Plus, one of our corporate clients, with Star Hits as well. And then there's a couple of things in the pipeline. And we just literally signed an agreement with ROAS which are a huge marketing company. Rabin, you're in Singapore, right?
I'm in Malaysia. Yes.
Sorry, you're in Malaysia. Okay, so just south of you, there's an amazing company that are unbelievable, and they see our long term goal. They believe in what we're doing, and we're in a fob. It seems to be every month. There's always something good. Every week, there's always positive things that are coming out. Of course, there'll be hurdles and storms in front of us. Any business is going to encounter them. But the
Yes.
one thing I can give confidence to, both from myself, the team, and to our community and anybody that's interested in purchasing DubAir, is that we have gone from strength to strength. And that's because of the dedication of the team, the dedication of myself, and also the dedication of the people that have supported us and believed in us, and the support, the loyalty that comes from everybody, including both of you guys. Because I remember speaking to you, Rabin, when we first launched Voice Air, and you sent me a message like, I hope you don't mind me sending this. I was like, please, whatever. And you were critiquing it. And I love that, because it gives me even more drive to go, right, somebody's found a problem, let's fix it. We will always work to make sure that we progress in a very progressive manner, but also in a methodical way, to make sure that people understand that what we're doing is serious. I take this as serious as anybody else, and for me, the growth comes from focus and having that connection with everybody that supported us.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
just so
Thank
you
you so
guys
much.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, just so you guys know, we were talking to Jay, and he loves our lives and everything like that. And he's giving all you guys 30% for the next 24 hours.
Yeah. Imagine
So
that, guys. So we have a special deal. So just before we come to live, few minutes back, so Jay joined us in the backstage, live backstage. So we are talking. Then he just threw this surprise to us, and we weren't actually prepared for it. That there's a 30% discount for the next 24 hours. So what I will do after the live completed, I will post the code for the 30% discount for the next 24 hours. So I will post it in the comments. So if you're in the live, you will be able to get notified and see what was the code. So get prepared for it, guys. And
not
so
only that,
somebody
Jay
is
also gave.
commenting. So if we cannot see your comment at the back end, we won't be able to put you in the list of winners. Please remember. So this is an expensive app. Even the innovator is $499. And Jay also added a surprise on top of it, which I didn't mention in the description of the video. So I don't think you can guess it, but there is also additional studio giveaway for this live. So how about that? Thank you, Jay. And you give such a surprise because I wasn't prepared. I was outside and I was a bit preoccupied. So when I saw the message, I didn't know what to say.
No problem.
So it took me a bit of processing time to
No
get it
problem.
done. So
It's
thank you
fine.
so much. And I hope people will appreciate this. And you guys need to be in the live. This is the first requirement.
Yeah.
Second requirement is we need to see who you are. So please show your face. It's very easy. Let me just highlight the link. So I created a short link for you. So you can just use this link to show your face on the live. So I can surface your question better. I know who you are. Jay knows who you are, and we all know. So with that, please give your questions. What we will do, I will collect the questions, and then later we will surface it to Jay. And Jay, do you want to show them the backend and the wizardry of this DubAir?
Yeah, so I think what I'd like to do, if it's okay with you guys, is
Yes,
just
yes,
to really, and for anybody that hasn't seen inside DubAir, and one thing I just want to briefly touch on, which you mentioned there, is the pricing. So what we have to really explain and really showcase is, a lot of people are like, wow, that's really expensive compared to your competitors. And as we are now doing with VoiceAir, that the product that we're offering, DubAir, is not completely different because the foundations of our competitors, the software, the technology that we use and our competitors are using is pretty much the same. But the difference that between ourselves, and like a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between you and DubDub? What's the difference between you? And I don't mind mentioning the competitors because the more competition, the better for us. The more it drives me on to push the app and the features that I'm going to talk to you about. So the reason why we're more expensive is there are some competitors that are using a few of the 11 Labs voices. However, they're not using the full library. I have no idea why, and I'm not going to speculate. All I'll do is focus and concentrate on what we do. And for us, outside of the dubbing, outside of the lip sync, and outside of the voice cloning that's already in there, so some people may know, they may not, and it's not something that we've really pushed, and that, again, we should, is that you can clone the original input audio. Okay, so if you're pulling a video from YouTube, you can actually clone that person's voice and have that speak in 29 languages, or 29 if it's speaking in English. There's another 28 languages to choose from. So that's one difference, is we're looking at the high end. We're not so much looking at the low hanging fruit. I know this is not expensive. Just check tools like Rask and their pricing. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. So what our goal has been is, when we bring products to market, is not to bring the same as what everyone else is doing. And for me, I've always been successful in the 18, coming up to 19 years that I've run my company, in coming from different angles. And those different angles come from our users, from our clients, as well as ourselves. So outside of the features that I've just mentioned, you'll also, right now, you have you currently have, the rewrite feature. Everybody has that, or most companies have, most providers have that, where you can edit the SRT file. We've actually, there was a user earlier this week that found a problem, and we sort of saw it, but we didn't think it was a huge problem, but for him it was. So what we've now done on the DubAir app is, when the SRT is generated, let's say, for instance, it's English to Spanish. Alberto can confirm this for us, and many other languages. Some of the words are longer in Spanish than they are in English, right? So the SRT translation, the video, the dubbed video, the script is longer in the output language. So what we've done is, it was added yesterday, and you'll be able to press a button. Now I'll be able to possibly show you, because I don't know, I'm on the developer account, but there's a button there now. What you do, press it, it will send it through to ChatGPT, and it will actually create an identical, it will just change the word, but it will still make the context exactly what it needs to do. Because what you're finding is, if you put in a 60-second video in input video in English, and then it's in, for instance, again, Indonesian, it will be longer, maybe a couple of seconds, could be 5 seconds. So what this button now does is create that balance to make sure that the output is identical. Because if you don't have it identical, what happens is that the technology, the dubbing, will try its very best to try to catch up, and that's where you get that's what one reason why people are finding failed projects at the moment. And just to touch on that briefly, if you find a failed project, you will not be charged the minutes. Those minutes will be reimbursed, or they won't be deducted from your minutes, your monthly minutes. Then you also have the ability to, with the rewrite feature, to make sure that it's identical. And that, for me, has to be, if it's not, then we're not going to get very far with a rewrite. So the button's been added. You guys can, anybody that's watching now that has access, just do a hard refresh on the platform, and you'll have the feature there. So yeah, I'll go into what we're going to do now. I'll share my screen.
Yeah,
Give
go
you
ahead. Yep.
a little bit. Share screen. Here we go. Okay. Just let me know once you think you can see that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so here, this what we're going to do, and again, very similar to what we did with Voice Air. This UI right now is nowhere near perfect, but we've been building this since November. Okay, so what I didn't want to do is we jump the gun? No, I don't think we did. We followed pretty much the same process, the same strategy as we've done with Voice Air, and we'll make the UI far better than what it is right now. So this is pretty much self-explanatory here. Right now, you can add a YouTube link, a URL. Then you can also choose a file as well. Here you can see upload a subtitle file, but you actually don't need that unless you have it. It will generate itself. Again, let me just scroll down a moment. You'll see here you have the voices. These are all voices from 11 Labs. Again, I don't like this UI at the moment. I want it to be very similar to what we currently have for Voice Air, but you can preview the voices. You can actually here, again, just jump into that. You can clone the voice, so the original voice that you have, and include lip syncing. I think while we're on this, I think it's very good for people to understand that right now, the most optimal dubbing generation and process is 60 minutes, and that's pushing it. Okay, I think everybody, competitors are about the same. Then we have 10 minutes of lip syncing. And one thing we found, and I say that I'm not focusing on our competitors, but I have to some degree, because what I don't see, and what I've mentioned this week through lives and in our community page, is a lot of these providers are not transparent. Maybe transparent isn't the right word, but what they don't do is tell you that like some people are saying you can do 90-minute videos. It's not the case. It will become unstable. The people, some of the companies are saying the lip syncing works up to 60 minutes. It doesn't. If it does, and you can show me that, I want to see it. But at the moment, the limitations are 60-minute faceless. You can create dubbing with one speaker, and as Alberto said, there are 4 at the moment. We tested that with Vision Plus back at the end of last year, and 4 starts to, after a few minutes, and we'll put some examples out next week, it starts to really lose its track. So at the moment, the foundational features, dubbing, lip syncing, have its limitations. Our voices, which everybody knows, 11 Labs, are second to none. And then what I'll do now is I'm just going to scroll down a second. My internet's running a little bit slow tonight, but if you just give me 1 second, I'm going to show you here. Then we'll go down to Mr. Obama. Here he is. All right, so here, what the workflow is, you add your URL, okay, you choose your voice or voices, obviously if it's one speaker, as this in this demo that I'm going to show you, you can change the actual the output language. As you can see here, we've got Spanish, Chinese, Arabic, and Czech. So once I click on this, 1 second. Yep, see, my internet's running really slow. We can do 3 things here. You can download the SRT file. You can also just solely download the audio, and then you can edit the SRT from this point, okay? So what we've done is we're testing this on multiple languages at the moment. What we're trying to do right now is to really push the boundaries, and yes, we need to focus on the basics, but we're also looking ahead of what we can do. So as you can see here on the left-hand side is the input language, okay? We've actually changed this. This is our developer account that we're using right now. So at the moment it's in Czech. You can edit, okay? You can actually delete this. You can actually edit the text as well. So here, whoops, there we go. See, I knew that'd happen because of my internet connection. So anyway, let me jump back onto that, and then we can apologize for that instance. Yeah, so let's just choose, let's go for Denzel, okay? And then we'll do that. For some reason, I'm just looking at my CPU at the moment, it's running really slow, not because of DubAir, because somebody in my house is watching something, probably my helper. But yeah, look, so you get this. This is the exporting of the video. So you'll have the audio processing, the video processing, lip sync, and then complete. So you can actually, as I was just saying before it crashed, you can download the audio here. Okay, it will give you options here to be able to just add or to export with just dub, or you'll also get lip syncing as well. So you'll be able to preview these. Okay, you'll be able to preview these. And one thing I will say, and again, you guys mentioned at the very beginning with regards to the knowledge base. The knowledge base, it plays a really, really important role. I think people are expecting to upload a video and for it to be 100% perfect. And one thing we are as a company is very transparent. We're very candid in what we do. And we want to make sure that people, we encourage, and Alberto said it, that you have to read the knowledge base, and we're adding things daily based on what we find. It's experimental, so anybody that reports a bug, and to be fair, this week we haven't had too many, which is a good thing. But anything that comes in that we can help mitigate any instances, any problems, for us, the knowledge base is so important. And as you can see here, they're the main languages at the moment. Someone messaged last week or Friday, a week ago, saying that Spanish wasn't there. We updated it. Spanish is available now, obviously for Alberto as well. But yeah, I think the most important thing we want to really explain to people is that this is a work in progress. And the reason why we've given 90 days, and some people said that that was too long. And I found that quite strange. But I also understand it, well, maybe not understand it, but respect it. So right now we have the rewrite feature. Then we also have 3 features here. Okay, so I think it will be good for me to explain the rewrite feature I've just mentioned, where you can edit the SRT. You'll be able to press the button, which will balance out the input language to the export language, the dubbed language, and then we have Revoice. You'll see it will say coming soon.
Jay.
Yes.
So if you share the full screen, the audio will not come in. So the audience cannot hear the audio. So what you need to do, you need to turn off the sharing and share only the tab and select the share the tab sound.
Okay, 1 second. Let me also share system sound. There we go. My apologies. All right, I'll go through the I'll do the Denzel Washington one again.
Yes.
All right, fine, no problem. Let me get back to that so you can actually hear it. And what we've done here is it will be the cloned. You'll hear the clone. Let me go into it.
I even saw myself in somewhere over there.
Yes, you were there. And that was one of the projects that failed. So whenever you do get a project that fails, if there's any particular reason, so it can be our fault, but then also without sounding too much, that it can also be the user's fault because they may not have checked the knowledge base. But again, we'll get it to the point of where that's resolved. So yeah, let me just come back out of that a minute so we can play. There he is. Just give me a second. So what we've done is we're actually categorizing the failed ones. At the moment, we're checking what we're doing from our side is any failed projects that are reported or that we see. See, as you can see here, unfortunately, for some reason, my dev account isn't working properly right now. So do you have access to yours, Rabin? I am sorry, but I think it might be better because this is.
Yeah, I think I have the access. Let me try to log into that.
Yeah, I think it's best because for some reason, it's definitely down to my internet because it's not. I was on this.
Alvaro, do you have the access?
Yeah, give me a second.
Yeah.
Thank you. I do apologize.
No worries.
Okay, and then that way, then I can just sort of point you guys in the right direction and show you. Maybe this will work. 1 second. Let's try. Okay. All right. It seems to be. Yeah. There we go. All right. Let me try this for now. So we've got that, and then we can just go. Upgrade your plan. This is see, even I don't have access to an LTD. You guys have got better than me. But yeah, Alberto, if you could just jump onto your account for me, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah, of
And
course.
in the meantime, I'll just very briefly explain these features just to stop people from getting bored. So the Revoice feature will be added this month. It will probably come on or before my birthday on the 30th. So in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The Revoice feature is a very powerful feature. What the Revoice feature does, let me just cancel that for now. What the Revoice feature does is it actually has a number of features within inside the feature, and what that does for us. Here we go. I thank you, Alberto. I appreciate that. See, yours looks actually
Yeah.
better than mine. Yeah. And the Revoice feature offers one that you'll be able to, rather than just choose from a drop down, the Revoice feature offers users the ability to be able to choose a voice from the 11 Labs library. It's identical to what we have with Voice Air, which all of the voices in there are fantastic. And then also with the Revoice feature, you will be able to clone your voice. So not only can right now you can clone the original input voice, you'll be able to clone your own voice and upload that, and then you'll be able to connect that to the dub content, which is a really powerful feature from my perspective, because a lot of people have asked that. So also then we have the refine feature. Refine will have an editing suite on there. So a lot of people are looking for automation at the moment, and right now the automation levels and technology of the dubbing is not where it needs to be. So what we're doing is mitigating the problems that a lot of our competitors, and I have access to all of them. I've paid for a monthly subscription. I still have them now because I want to see what new features they're coming up with. And the refine feature offers an editing suite, so you can refine the whole process from the dubbed input, being able to make sure that everything correlates and everything is working to the level that it should do. And that will come in April. So by the end of April, possibly a little bit sooner in April, you'll have the refine feature, and then you'll have remix. The remix feature is really important because what the remix feature does, it offers users the ability to create additional subtitles, or captions, and for me, that plays an important role to the accessibility. And you'll also, by the end of next month, in the remix feature, you'll be able to add different subtitles to the original language. So, for instance, if the output language is in Spanish and you want to create the subtitles in English, you can do that. Also, what we're currently doing, and this is the final part of those features, it's actually an additional feature. So Vision Plus specifically asked us to, if they can dub in multiple languages. So, for instance, right now it's one language. You go from English to Spanish, English to Indonesian, whatever. But by the end of April, which we'll be delivering to Vision Plus, you'll be able to choose multiple languages. So you'll be able to dub. So, for instance, if you want to translate or dub from English and you want it in Spanish, Indonesian, Russian, up to 5 languages, any of the 29 languages that are available, you'll be able to dub multiple videos, which for me is a huge. That's when the automation starts to kick in. That's when users really get the power and the feeling of being able to create content rather than dubbing 5 times. You'll be able to do it once and have it in 5 languages, which for me is a massive tool. And I do believe, and anybody that's on this live now, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe any of our competitors have that. Will they get it? More than likely. But we added 3 developers middle of February, so nearly a month ago. We now have a total of 13 developers working with us, and they're just finishing up on the Voice Air So by the end of next month, we'll be in a position where we won't be adding any more features. We'll be just stabilizing and optimizing the VoiceAir website, and we'll do exactly the same with VoiceAir. Our attention will switch to DubAir, and we'll do exactly the same to make sure that what users have now will be a completely different beast at the end of this month, next month, and throughout the rest of this year. Okay. I don't know if we've lost sound there with everybody or. Hello, hello. Uh-oh. We got a
Can you
technical.
hear me?
There we go. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we are back.
All right. Can you hear us or?
So, I can hear you. Yes.
Super.
Okay.
So do you guys have any
We
questions?
got a lot of questions as
Okay,
well.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I want to add. So I was in the very beginning of voice over air. So I was playing with it, testing it, and there's been so much improvements within those few months. I think now it's at 6 months, right? That you've gone live, if not more.
Yeah, end of September. So November, December,
Yeah.
January, February. So 4 coming up to 5 months. Yeah.
So there's been a lot of updates already, and DubAir, just like Jay said earlier, there's already been improvements from your
Mm.
feedback. So, and like he said, he's giving people 90 days to test it out because he's improving it. And if you've seen Jay, and if you heard any of the lives, he's always his biggest critique. He's always trying to make the product better, and he himself is looking to make it better. Like he knows it's not at the stage that he wants it to be, and you constantly see that with voice over air how it's been improving,
Mm.
and I see the same going on with DubAir.
Definitely, and it's a very simple understanding of that. For me, if you launch a product that isn't where it needs to be, and one thing I've seen in the LTD community of how honest you guys are, and I've seen that companies launch an LTD and then no, I'm not. I think it's a minority, but these companies don't update like for 6 months or 12 months, and that frustrates me, not just as a founder but if someone as an investor. If I'm investing in something, I want to see what you guys what's going to happen. I want to see constant progression. I want to see if you're taking my money, and that's why I have such a great rapport with our community, because it's not. I don't have a detached sense of what we're doing. I'm constantly every day speaking. I'm on our community page. We're putting out posts. We're showing what we're doing, and it's just exactly the same as what we're going to do with DubAir. And pretty much the 75 LTDs that we sold between December and January for DubAir, we're pretty much, I would say, 70% of them are people that have bought VoiceAir, and that stands us in a good stead because they trust us, they believe in what we're doing. So when somebody, and we've literally, and this has been amazing because it's a completely different contrast to when we launched VoiceAir. And because a lot of people had been waiting a long time and they didn't know us, but they gave us, that they had their patience. And when we launched VoiceAir, it wasn't really, there was a few outside issues that got people scared to refund. And now I'm getting people saying, damn, I wish I wouldn't have refunded VoiceAir. And that's fine, I understand. But now we've got a track record. We've been in the LTD community for a year. People have been, I'm sick of seeing my face in the LTD community. And the odd people say, you're over promoting, but I'm not. What I'm doing is providing updates on the investment of the and the hard earned money that these people and these are not friends, but these people have become so entwined in what we're doing that why would I not give them updates, and not just in our community, because not everyone's going to be in there. Why would I not want to spend an hour a week on my live just to give people, to let them know where we are? And for me, it's nothing compared to the money that they've invested. All I'm doing is just making sure that people know we're still here, we're making progress, and VoiceAir by next week. It's just it's unbelievable. And I'll be speaking again in 6 months' time when we get DubAir to the same position, and then when we launch the real-time dubbing, or it be in beta October. And listen, the goal right now is we're not just looking for the LTD community. It plays an important role, but we're now starting to see MRR with Voice Air, and we'll be selling one agency plan a month come once all the features. I've got a little sales team that I'm building right now, which will be calling agencies across the APAC region in Europe and North America. And we'll say that right now our agency plan is $22,000. Just let me confirm this because I should know, but our agency plan, yeah, it's a month. So our agency plan right now it's people are like, why are you selling it? Why is it so expensive? And I'm like, do you know anything about getting a voice artist in the studio? Do you know how much it costs to have a studio? Do you know how much it costs for translation? Do you know all of these costs add up? And what we're charging or for the agency dub, and I'm not talking about the LTD, I'm talking about the monthly and the yearly plans. It's nothing. It's really nothing compared to what you'll charge. I ran an audio branding business for 15, 16 years up until a couple of years ago, where we put it to one side, and the cost is astronomical. So our focus is to make sure that what we're offering, people might think it's expensive now, and it is for individual creators. DubAir is not for everybody. And I've said this very clearly. I don't want to alienate people, and that's why our innovator is charged $122 a month. But that $122 a month, you couldn't make a 60-minute video for $122 a month. Can you do it right now in DubAir? No. Will you be able to do it by the end of April? Yes. And will we be able to add and refine it, optimize it, and make it the best it can by the end of the year? Yes. So that $122, $1,500 a year, it is negligible compared to what you're going to be able to create. And if you're monetizing your channel or monetizing your business through through your clients, and someone asked yesterday on a live that I was on, is there an additional commercial license? No. We're just giving you a service. Why would we want to charge you more for you wanting to make money? So for us, it's not, that our goal is to build a successful product and keep that link and that connection with our audience, but also make money as a business without screwing people over. And that for me is pretty much where I see our ability as a company to do that compared to others.
Yeah. And I agree. A lot of companies, it's like, one, you get what you pay for. And then what it seems like is they always do their updates either right before Black Friday, or as soon as you see them do an update, then you know they're going to come out on AppSumo or somewhere else.
Right.
Where you've been progressively updating Voice over Air, you've been progressively updating and working on DubAir. You got separate teams for both that are working on different features for it. So you got the dedicated staff. So that explains why, in another way, why you're charging so much is for this dedicated staff, the dedicated updates, to be able to continue to run your business and not be a year later saying, oh, we're closing down because we can't afford anything like a lot of these other tools.
It won't happen. The reason why it won't happen is I prefer to struggle now. We're not struggling, but this time last year, we just entered the LTD marketplace, and everyone was like, who the hell is this guy? Like, completely, I'm just in your face. I'm proactive. I'm aggressive, but in a nice way. And when I mean aggressive is I want people to see that I work 18 hours a day. I am the face of the company. I'm not shy to work. And we could have sold, maybe it's a bit strong, but we could have sold our soul and gone to AppSumo. We could have gone to one of the marketplaces, and they're fantastic. Rocket Hub, SaaSilla. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but I would rather not put us in a position where we've done amazing over the past year, and that's because of the LTD community believing in what we're doing. And I've not really analyzed it, but I'm just looking at it as what we've done is we've built the trust with our community without having to use those marketplaces to be able to put us on the next level, to put us on a platform where we can move to a position of we don't need to keep selling LTDs. And there's one guy, he's always floating around in some of the pages, and he says, "Oh, you're still selling an LTD." I'm like, "Yeah, but we're not like selling hundreds or thousands. We're selling maybe, or we were at the end of October when we stopped with the LTD with Voice Air. We might have been selling 2 or 3 LTDs a week, right? But we were fine because I would rather go through the hard times and know that by Q2, so pretty much next month, with the contracts that have come in from Vision Plus and from Star Hits under the NMC umbrella, and they're 6-figure contracts, we've put ourselves in a position where we know what we're doing. And I don't just mean me, I mean our team and you guys. You see it clearly that we're not here to try to do anything other than just progressing in the company and make sure that the people that invested in us over the past 12 months, you won't get a letter saying, oh, we're really sorry we've sold it to somebody, right? We're really sorry that we're going to have to ask you to buy, to upgrade. And there potentially for DubAir, there may be an upgrade. Like I've got it here, look, my old-fashioned Post-it, but it's like a $5 upgrade a month to add more storage to what you're doing. Because if we don't do that, and we go, oh yeah, everything's unlimited, you can do it. And I always preempt what we're doing in 3 months' time. If I'm telling you now that if you hear from me in April or May, that I'm saying you may have to pay, if you want to, it's not obligatory. If you pay $5, $60 a year to add 100 gigabytes of storage, that we ain't making money off of that, but it's more about giving you guys what you need without restricting you from what you're doing. So, there's people floating around, and that's fine. It's not a problem. For me, the most important thing that I can say right now, and I'm going to shut up, is that we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. And I'm not saying that with arrogance or ego. I'm saying it because I'm learning every day. Our company is evolving at a level where we're not growing too fast. We're not growing too slow. We're a happy medium, and everything we're doing is going to benefit the people that have invested in us over the past year and the past 5 years of getting Voice Air to where it needs to be. And DubAir will be a faster moving vehicle, 100%.
Give me just a second. I give people the depth of the giveaway today. You guys can see on the screen. So this is the innovator package, which is $500 equivalent, and the Studio Tab is $900 equivalent. So these are the 2 giveaway for today. So make sure you are on the stream, and give your thoughtful comments. There are very, very good questions that I will surface later on. Don't worry, if I can see your comment, definitely I will surface it. And this is just to give you a brief overview that what you can have when we are going with this specific plan. So there are also yearly plans and monthly plans. I think they are also very, very, what do you call this? So if you want to check this out, you can always get the free one, but this is limited to 3 minutes of dubbing. Just go ahead and, test it out. So every time I also say this to everyone, go ahead, test things out. But the way I see the progress that Jay do, which is progressive, it's not like a graph that it jumps up and falls down. It's not. So it's a progress that it is staying stable and progressing. So this is what is important for me from my previous experiences. I have seen that that products that shoot up too fast and too fast upwards, and the fall is pretty much that fast going downwards. So that is from my experience. But yes, I can be wrong. It might not happen to all products, but happen to most products.
And then just let me interject there very, very quickly. And you're right. And I can say what I've seen. Listen, you guys have been in this environment longer than I have. And one thing I find is that this hype that comes from marketplaces, right, on all of them, right? We're not singling out the marketplaces, but what you find is that this hype comes, and we're not like aggressively pushing this. If you want to invest, and people say, oh, $499 is expensive. And somebody, I saw a post a few weeks ago. When you buy an LTD, it might not necessarily be right, but I do agree with it to some point. Buy the LTD to use now, right? To not wait 6 months that potentially it could fall apart. So what you're investing in with us is you're getting, and I'm actually too honest for my own good. People tell me this, but I don't. I'm not going to ever change it. So what you have right now with DubAir, is it perfect? No, far from it. Will it be perfect in the next 2 months? No. Will it be perfect in the next 6 months? We won't be far off. But that's, for me, is really important for me to be able to explain that, and to really just give everybody an understanding that this isn't just something we're playing around with. This is my life. This is our team. That the 13 developers that we have are unbelievable. And that comes down to really just getting the point across that what you're buying now is an investment for now, but it's also an investment for the future that won't fail, because we're not just focusing on the LTDs. We've got these large companies. We're already in discussions with a couple of companies in North America. I'm not going to say anything until that contract has been signed and the money's in the bank. But for me, it's so important for people to grasp and understand that what we do, we're not pushing 7, 8, 9 products out every year. We've got 2 products. There'll be no other products coming in 3 to 6 months. Voice Air, DubAir, let's make them the best they can be. And that's it. Patience, the 90-day refund period, which is key, because someone said, why are you giving 90 days? Well, all the features aren't there. So how can you make a decision and not feel under pressure with a 30-day or 60-day if you don't have the full components and the full features to the app? But by the end of April, you've still got another 30 days with everything that we've promised. And if at that 30 days you don't like it, it doesn't fit your use case, doesn't do what you want it to do, then you'll get a refund. It's not
And,
rocket
and Jay
science.
doesn't And Jay doesn't only talk the talk, he walks the walk. Like you could see on all his lives that he does in his group. I don't know if a lot of you guys are in his group, but he shows you and he tells you, oh, this is what we've done so far. This is where we're at. This is what we're aiming for next. You see the progress of the product. Like if you look at voice over air from when it first came out to where it is today, it's almost a complete different product, you
Yes.
100%
know,
is.
and so, and this is progressive. This is constant updates and constant work. This is not just hey, this is what we did when we released it. Now we're waiting another 6 months for another update. No, he's constantly improving it. And even though it looks good and you might think it's good, he comes out with a way to make it even better. You know, so I'm excited to see where Dub Air is from 6 months from today.
100%. And thank you for saying that, Alberto. I appreciate it. And just very quickly, I think it's really key for me. And I've already said this a couple of times, so I'm going to rephrase it. I think it's really key for me that the people that are going to be purchasing the Innovator at $500, it is a lot of money, but you're looking at it short term. What we want to do is I spend at least a day out of 7 days. Might be a bit of an exaggeration, but I spend at least 12 to 18 hours on our community page in a week. And for me, what that does for me personally, I'm interested in what everyone else thinks, but for me personally, if I didn't do that, I'm going from having a connection of because someone trusts us and wants to invest and spend $500 upwards. And if I don't do that, I feel like I'm losing the connection with that individual, with our community, because I'm not spending 1 hour on a live every Thursday or providing a quick update and then spending maybe 2 or 3 hours, not every morning, but 2 or 3 times a week, in just communicating and speaking to people on DMs and on the posts that we create. Why would you not do that? Well, I just don't know any other way, and my only way is to make sure that everybody knows where we are. Some people say it's too much. That's okay, I understand. But for me, if I'm investing $500 in a product, if I see that founder telling me where we are, that gives me a sense of belief. It gives me a sense of calmness, because I know that what they're doing, I can see it. Not just they're talking, excuse my language, they're talking shit. They're actually giving me something tangible every week, with Dali, coming this evening. So for me, it's just the way that it should be. And if you don't do it as a founder, that's your prerogative. But all I care about is making sure that I keep that connection. And when we do start to really go big time, I can assure you now, screen record this. It's recorded anyway. I will never lose the connection with the people that have supported us over the past year. Just won't happen. Simple as that. It's not going to happen.
All right. Thank you. So guys, again, if you compare it to even the monthly, and for Studio Dub and
Look at the
agency,
prices.
and you can see the prices, right? So when you compare that with this, it really seems it's a very short stick to play with.
You'll be kicking yourself. Let me say it, because a few people this week, there was somebody, I won't mention his name because he might not want me to mention it. He thought he bought Voice Air, and he found out he hadn't got it. And he was like, oh, it was at $250, which was earlier last year. I'm so upset that I didn't get it. And I can assure you, and this isn't a sales pitch, it isn't me dangling a carrot, but the people that miss out on on DubAir will be kicking yourselves. I promise you'll be kicking yourselves. So if you can afford it and you trust what we're doing, definitely. And I'm not here to try to pitch people to buy it. I'm here to showcase what we have and where we're going. And if you want to buy it, that's your choice. But you're making a great decision. Look at that. The agency dub, right? $17,500 a year. Right, for an agency dub, there are additional minutes on that from the yearly to the LTD, but there's no comparison. And we've had quite a few people for the agency dub. Some of the people that are possibly in this live now, and we'll do what we say we're going to do. And that real time dubbing, when that comes later this year, the agency dub buyers or LTD holders will get access first. It'll be in beta, and then we'll roll it out. And again, just to be very clear, please note that at this stage, the real-time dubbing will more than likely not be included in the minutes there, okay? Because it's a different beast. The engine, the servers, everything else is different. So I just want to categorically state, I don't want to mislead people. I want people to know that it will be fairly priced, but it will be an additional add-on or an update. So anybody that sees a post 6 months down the line, oh, well, you didn't tell us this, I'll make sure every week everybody knows. Okay.
All right, Alberto, you can go ahead. I think we have a lot of questions.
Let's go.
Nearly 50 questions. Oh my God.
Damn. Simple one. Should we go with this one first?
Yep, go ahead.
So 2 things. I had a meeting with Vision Plus September, October, while we were still dealing with Voice Air. And we went in there to pitch Voice Air. And they asked us about dubbing. Is it possible? And I was like, I need to look into it. So we went, after the meeting, went back, spoke to the team on the Friday. The meeting was on a Friday. We had a stand-up. And then I asked them to go and check out how we can if we can do this. And by the following Friday, they were like, yeah, it's not a problem. We can do it. I was like, right. So it actually came from Vision Plus, the idea. And then the week after, we looked at the competitors. At the time, they weren't competitors, but within the dubbing marketplace. And we just knew that we could compete with them. And because of the size of the team at that stage, 8, including our CTO, Dimas, absolute amazing guy, just can run the developers team in his sleep. That's how confident I am with him. So yeah, DubAir came to fruition from a meeting with Vision Plus, and Vision Plus. Within 5 weeks from that point, we sat down at another meeting in their office, and their drawers were on the floor. And that was just like a few weeks later. So that's where the idea came from. So yeah, hopefully that explains that to you. How much is the monthly plan for DubAir, and could we go for a monthly plan when the LTD limit is reached, or we have to wait for the next month to be able? I don't. Sorry, maybe it's just my brain, but I don't. I understand the first part of the question, but could we go from the monthly plan when the LTD limit is reached? Okay, all right. I understand it now after rereading it. Yeah, you can. There's no problems with that. But what we'll do for the LTD community is rather than charge the $122 a minute, what we can do, as we've done with Voice Air, and there's been numerous LTD holders that have taken this option, you can just add additional minutes to your account. That's probably the easiest way. But if you want to add the monthly, you can. Here he is. Here's my friend. What are some use cases for DubAir?
And I need to thank him personally, since he wake up at very early in the morning to join the live.
And I would also like to thank him on the basis that last year, probably Q3, Q4, we had a conversation, and he really helped me and our company. So yeah, Anil, as you know, and as everybody knows, anybody that's out there looking out for us, I'll look out for them. So use cases for DubAir, obviously, other than the obvious. So you can create unboxing videos. So we've got a few users right now that are doing that. Faceless videos, animation, which was when we showed Kiko, which is a very popular animated series for children here in Indonesia. That's another one, and that will progress. So we are discussing with a company I think it's in LA at the moment, for an animated series. And they love when we showed them the Kiko one, which was pretty just raw audio cloned from Indonesian into English. So there's many use cases for it. It can be used for excuse me, 1 second. Let me just focus a minute. It can be used for businesses. So actually, a friend of mine that's been he's been my friend for 30 plus years. He has a large construction training company in the UK. And he's using it now because there's multiple nationalities that come in for the courses. They don't all speak perfect English, which is fine. We understand. So then he's using DubAir now to translate dub into multiple languages. So there are probably just a handful of use cases, but there's so many that you can use DubAir for. Good to see you here, Jay. Yesterday you shared that you'll be out 2-3 months. Yeah, I mentioned that this morning to you in a comment. How much difference would beta and non-beta be? For example, accuracy, completely different beast, completely different to where we are right now. So what you'll see by the end of this month with Revoice, with the ability to choose 200 voices, you can do that now. But it offers more accuracy. You'll be able to actually upload your own cloned voices. And then with the other features, with Refine and Remix, that's why we've given a 90-day window for the refund period. And we're confident by May, probably the end of May, we'll be out of beta, and the accuracy will be far better. What we've done is we've rushed to market to give you a product that is basic, but within the next 3 months, you'll have a product that is far, far superior than what you have right now. Thank you. In what ways does the Revoice feature allow your personalization of dub content using AI voices from 11 Labs? Quite as pretty much what I've explained. So what it does, a lot of, or not a lot, but some providers will and there's one in particular, without naming them, they choose the voice for you. You don't get to choose that voice. So if you've got a brand, and this is for me, some people may laugh at this, but if you own a funeral home, for example, you don't want a happy, cheery American voice, young female voice, sort of giving your pitch to your company. You know, you need the calm voice on that. So the Revoice feature will add the benefits of you being able to actually not only preview, but be able to add brand match content to what you're trying to achieve, and with the clone voices. So if you have somebody that's already promoting your business and it's a voiceover, you can just upload upload a sample, and you can still use the same within DubAir. That for me is probably one of the biggest USPs for Revoice. I have the same question too. How do you deal with words meaning longer in other languages? So as I've stated, I believe you have an LTD already. If you just refresh, once you log in again, if you just refresh the page, hard refresh, you'll see on the rewrite feature, there'll be a button there. Press that button, it's at our cost. And what that will do is we'll create the balance between the input language and the output language. If the button isn't there, let me know and we'll take care of it, but it should be. How do you deal with words that does not exist in the target language? You just edit them within the rewrite feature. You'll be able to, on the right-hand side, click edit, and you'll be able to add them. On either side, you can edit the text, the script for the SRT. Where your application works best and where it fails currently. Right now, short form content. That's probably the easiest way, the easiest answer, and to make sure that people understand the limitations of what you're trying to create. If you're trying to create faceless content, not a problem. If you're trying to create lip syncing, for instance, most people know this now because I've spent a week or two, if not longer. If you've got a beard, it isn't going to work. If you've got slight facial hair, it will still be off. You have to keep your head forward. Okay, whether it's yours or anybody else's content, you have to keep your head forward. No obscurities in front, microphone, hands, etc., because it will just throw it off. Will that change? 100%. But at the moment where we are is the 3 developers that have been dedicated to DubAir over the past 4 weeks are now in the process in making sure that we find the balance and make sure we remove the bugs and we make sure that we optimize what we have right now. Come the end of the month, that will change, and so on throughout the rest of the year. In the agency dub plan, can an agency owner and sub-accounts? Ooh, what a really good question. Yes, in April, as we are going to do with VoiceAir, you'll have access to that. Yes, Victor, you'll be able to have sub-accounts within that. We'll obviously need their email address so we can assign them, but there will be a limit on that. And also we'll make sure that, because some people may abuse it, so we'll be very stringent with our process for that. Have you added keyword shortcuts to quickly move around the application? Right now, no. Will we do it? Yes. Also, does the agency owner get to allocate fixed minutes to each sub account, or subs can use as much as possible under the 500, which might not be healthy for the agency owner? Yeah, we listen. Right now, that's not something that I've thought of. But Victor, what a fabulous question. And you can actually add that to our roadmap. Yeah, why would we not want to do that? Where the agency owner has control over the minutes that are there. That will become, I think, in just less than 3 months, that will be available for you. We're actually working on a private project for that. So whatever we work on for corporate clients, that will reflect in both VoiceAir and DubAir. Okay. And here's Garrett. I haven't used DubAir, only VoiceAir, but will DubAir allow me to record myself reading a script in video and audio for 5 minutes or whatever length and clone myself audio? And yeah, you can do that. Exactly the same as what you can do in VoiceAir with the cloning. You'll be able to add that to DubAir as well, essentially making it where I never have to record a video again, turning myself into an avatar of sorts. Yes. And also, I think it's really important because we had it in December when we first launched the LTD. People are asking us, like, are you going to add AI avatars? And what I saw probably the last 6 months of last year, apart from HeyGem, I just really didn't see anybody else that was competing in that market. And this is really important for everybody to know because, again, as I mentioned earlier on in this call, we don't want to be the same as everybody else. We're not going to jump on the bandwagon and do the same that our competitors are doing. We will disrupt the marketplace in bringing something to our users. And will we add AI avatars? I said last year, probably not. Now, yes, because the technology's moved on. And now that we've got the funding coming in, and now that we've got a team of 13 developers, why would we not? Because there is a demand for that. Personally, I'm not a big fan of them, but that it's not for me to choose whether we have them or not. It's for our community and our users to say, look, hey, I want AI avatars. If it's viable, which it will be, we'll do that. Okay. What video size, formats, ratios, and resolutions are supported now, and will you have more in the future? Yeah. So the refine feature offers that. The remix feature will offer that. Both coming in April. So right now, the resolution at the moment. So anybody that's uploading 1080 HD, we're at the moment reducing that to 720. Will that change? Yes. By the end of this month, that will change. It's all down to the fact of the size of the servers that we're using, and also the fact that right now there's a queue. So, and again, we'll be very clear. I think I've added it to the FAQs, and if I hadn't, by tomorrow morning, mid-morning our time here in Indonesia and Jakarta specifically, we will add that and I think it's already there, but we'll make sure by the end of this month, users will have the better capacity for ratios, scales, and resolution. Okay. How can we instruct DubAir where to exhibit emotions? It already offers that. So 11 Labs, whereas a lot of the standard text-to-speech, the AI voices, you actually have to input the emotions. 11 Labs reads it, so it's in the context. I think I've answered this before, maybe not to yourself, Asif, but the context of what you're in your script. If it's a sad script or there's certain parts that are sad and some are happy, the AI will read that and generate that in the best possible way. We've seen it. If you go to our community page, there's content that recently is last week, even earlier this week. And it's unbelievable. It's mind blowing that it can actually perform at that level. So yes, the emotions are already included in the context of what you're writing. Do you enhance voices generated by 11 Labs, or is it the same? So we're using the same settings, voice settings that are in 11 Labs. But what we've also done is add additional features. And this is why the development team are absolutely amazing, because we're adding, and I can't give you specifics right now, but next week, we'll be adding features to be able to create the stability, enhance the stability even more than what 11 Labs have. And that just goes to show the absolute, the development team are unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Do you have a plan to connect Voice over Air and DubAir account in the near future? I really don't see. This question was asked to me in December, and my answer hasn't changed. I don't want to overcrowd Voice over Air, because what we have right now, and anybody that has access to it, it's if we add more and more and more features at this stage, it's just not going, for me, it's not going to perform the way that it needs to. So the reason why the products are separate is because they both do two totally different things. Voice Air, create content from scratch. DubAir, create pre-recorded content. So at the moment, there's nothing is going to change with Voice Air from what our strategy is. Could it change in the future? Who knows? I'm not going to say yes, and I'm not going to say no. Documentation is very important to efficiently use the apps. Thanks for adding it. Definitely. Well, and go and have a look. And I'm talking here now, about competitors, but I don't see a knowledge base. I just see FAQs. And our knowledge base, Ifta, who's my right-hand man, is constantly updating. Whenever somebody comes in with a concern or they find an issue, we'll add it to the knowledge base the same day. And that knowledge base will be so advanced, it will be in such a position that the knowledge base will guide you. Like 11 Labs' knowledge base is immense. There's many companies out there, and I think the documentation and the knowledge base plays an important role for users to be able to maximize their content without having to be impeded by creating something, it actually generating, and it not giving the output. Where whatever we can do to help you guys to make the best content possible, we will do that. We're going to start adding more walkthroughs, specific use cases, all of these things. We've got to remember right now, our marketing team is 3 and 1 part-time. So we've got 4 in our marketing team, but they're doing so much. But with the money that's coming in throughout this month and next month, we'll add to the marketing team, and you'll start to see us. You'll start to see what we're trying to do for you guys.
Hey Jay, you added some bullet points, some key bullet points on using DubAir in one of those things. Do you want to mention those key bullet points real quick?
I think, Albert, that's a really good point. So thank you. I think it's more about the lip sync. The lip sync right now, I think a lot of people expect from the videos that we've created, they expect to create the same output of what we've created. And you can do that, but you have to follow these really important factors in to be able to optimize and to create what you see on our promo videos. First and foremost, no beard, facial hair doesn't work. There's number 1. Second one, straightforward facing the camera. That's number 2. Head movement doesn't work, because every time that if you're trying to create a lip syncing video and that person's head is moving, and that's why we've shown not just the good but and the bad of what you need to do. So if the head's moving, if it's yourself or a video that you want to dub, if the head's all over the place, it's not going to work. Again, number 4, the having an obscurity, a microphone or hands in front of the face, it's going to throw it off. Test it, use it. Don't be afraid to use those minutes, because your minutes are recurring with the LTD, and are also, if it fails, your minutes are not deducted. So it's a playground right now, as it was with VoiceAir. And when we launched at the end of September, we were deducting characters, and then I think it was probably December. Somebody in this group can correct me if I'm wrong, but we didn't deduct characters for nearly 3 months. So it's a playground right now. Use it, trial it, test it. If something fails, bug report it. Let us know, because without your input, we're only working on what we know about. So when something that doesn't work, tell us, and we'll fix it, and we'll do our very best to fix it in the quickest possible time. And if it takes a couple of days or a week, like we've got a problem at the moment with VoiceAir, with the vertical layers, and we've pulled it. But by the end of this month, next month, not the end of, but during April, when we have the new UI, the layers will work efficiently better. So anything that you have, any issues, we've got it in the knowledge base for the lip syncing. For Alberto mentioned the 4 points. I've just told you about them. Just trial and error right now. And some people might not like that, but people will appreciate if we can do our best to make sure we mitigate those issues that you're encountering. And remember, you've got a lifetime deal, so don't be scared to use those minutes and test. And if it fails, let us know. If it fails because there's something that you haven't read in the knowledge base, is it still our fault? Yes, it is, but it's also your fault. So as a team, we'll get to where we need to be. And Mark Peters, is Dutch available? It is. It's available.
Yes, it is.
Yes, tot ziens. It's available. Can we preview the voices just by hovering mouse over voice name? It can save a lot of time if it's not already there. So right now you just need to click the preview button. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. But again, add it to our roadmap, please. There's a DubAir roadmap. You can add whatever you need to in there, and anything that's viable, anything that's going to benefit everybody, not just one person, then we'll take care of it. If a user wants to dub a longer video and need lip sync on the entire video beyond 10 minutes, great question already. Can DubAir smooth breakdowns of 10 minutes each, which can then be merged? Okay, so what our goal is for the refine feature next month is for you guys to our goal, as it has been for VoiceAir, and sorry for anybody that sees me reverting back to VoiceAir, what we want to do, and we are now achieving with VoiceAir in a very short period of time over the past 4 months, is we don't want people to have to leave VoiceAir to go and use third-party applications. And it's exactly the same as what we're going to do for DubAir. And at the moment, what you're asking is possible. We'll be able to do that in the refine. And then over time, and when I say over time, next quarter and throughout the rest of this year, the lip syncing will increase from 10 minutes. It has to increase, and we'll pour money into that. And that's the reason why we will be successful in what we have with DubAir, because the investment that comes in goes straight into the development, and to make sure that you guys are from 60 minutes to 90 minutes to a full length movie feature, and the lip syncing. The lip syncing plays a huge role both for our corporate clients and for our consumers as well. How long can we use lip sync? Can it last over 10 minutes? No, that's the simple answer, the honest answer. Can it? Sometimes when we've tested it, it can, but right now it's not at that position. So the current workflow is create dubbed content with 10 minutes. And at the moment, you can't stitch it together in DubAir, but you will be able to do that. That's what the refine feature will offer. Would love to see in the knowledge base some special use cases showing how to get X output level results step by step. Definitely, 100%. And again, as I mentioned just a few moments ago, the knowledge base will be updated. Next week, we'll be showing more use cases. We'll be giving you guys an A to Z of how you can create content with lip sync, without lip sync, and how you can create faceless content. Right now, the faceless content is the best that I've seen across all of our competitors. Ours is the best. Why is it the best? Because we're using the best voices that are available. We have the ability to edit the SRT. So that, for me, the faceless content right now is the best that we have within DubAir. Lip syncing will come, and so will the dubbing quality and accuracy, definitely. Just curious, will the upgrade your plan option be available for all LTD holders who may decide to upgrade later, even after the official LTD sale closes? Yeah, so there was a little bit of controversy with VoiceAir a few months back, and I've learned from my mistake. And yes, the answer is yes. So if you purchase Innovator, it will only be for the 150 LTD buyers, because we're limiting it to 150. Anything more than that, I've done the figures, and DubAir won't last very long. So, Victor, the answer is yes. Revoice means changing voice in the content. Yeah, Revoice means two things. You can choose from the 200 voices that are in our library, and you'll be able to upload 15 separate or individual voice clones. You click on your voice clone, and it will dub it using that voice clone. Okay. Do you have a plan to support more languages, Jay? Example, my country. So there's two answers to this. The first one is 11 Labs. We're limited to what 11 Labs offers us right now, which is 29 languages. It's been known about over the past couple of months. There was a big ooh-ah when I mentioned this, because people started freaking out thinking we were going to stop using 11 Labs. But as a business and as a founder, I have to find the best ways to make profit, but in a way that it doesn't hurt our users. So we will probably by the end of the summer start to work on our own voice engine, because It's open. There's a lot of open source technology out there. There's some really quality open source AI voices out there at the moment. So I can't answer for 11 Labs because it would be me speculating. But when we do launch ours, and again, there's no date for that, we'll add multiple languages in there. It's all about the data set. So Vietnamese at the moment, no. Best way to do that is to clone your voice and use your own voice, which you can do. And then when our own voice engine comes out, we'll be adding. I know you've been asking that for a long time, and I'm sorry, but I'm just limited at the moment. But we will do our very best for you. Would you say what would you say in translation accuracy? How much tweaking is needed? Fantastic question. So right now, for long form, ChatGPT Whisper is outperforms Google Translate, and Google Translate's accurate. But again, to be very clear, there's no translation software out there that is 100% accurate. It's not. DeepL are really good, but only a small number of languages available. And you can actually Google this. I did this a few weeks back, and I checked how accurate Whisper is, and with ChatGPT translation, and it's around 96.8%. So for me, that's only 3.2% off being 100% accurate, and that for me then gives you only 3.2% to work with. So the accuracy in the languages that we have right now, the 29 languages, is 96.8%. Okay, how does the application works? If it transcribes, translates, and then voice that. Yeah. Have you not seen any of our videos? Are you just testing me now? You just
No,
testing me.
he's just pulling your legs.
Yeah,
I can guarantee this.
isn't he? Yeah, he's keeping
Yeah.
it. Honestly, it's 23 minutes past 10 on a Saturday night, and you're asking me questions like that. I tell you what I'll do. Go to our YouTube channel, go to our community, and that will answer the question for you. But it's very simple. It's a very simple work process. Can it dub in multiple languages all at once rather than one by one? Right now, it's limited. You can do it. I wouldn't suggest it, because what I don't want to say is, yeah, you can do it, and then it fails, and then we look stupid. But within the next 7 weeks, the answer to your question will be you'll be able to dub in up to a maximum of 5 languages in audio. Video will come not probably, but will be in May. That will answer your question.
Hey Jay, how are you doing in time? You still have time for more
Don't
questions?
worry, keep going. It's fine.
All right.
I'm like the Energizer Bunny. What do you focus on, DubAir? Video smooth or emotional of lip sync? All of it. I think it's all really important. I think it's rather than trying to perfect one, what we prefer to do is to offer the accuracy on both the video, the emotional of the lip sync, like you've just mentioned, Natalie. And our goal is really to give you the best we can. Obviously, that's a bit cliche, but what I will say to you is that we will get it to the best that it can be, and we will surpass. And I think by the end of April, we'll be in a position where some of these companies that have been around for 12 to 18 months, and we will have only been around for 7 or 8 months, it's not even 50% of that, we'll match them. There won't be an issue. I'll have a dub off with the competitors because I'm that confident within our team and within the technology that we're building on top of that there'll be no issues. Do you, by the way, know what the process to request languages not available yet as text to speech? Oh, that's a really good question. Again, there's only 2 answers for that. Very similar or exactly the same as what I mentioned. Right now, what 11 Labs have, we have. What we want to do is to offer, we're actually going to offer 3 by the middle of this, well, not the middle of this year, but by the middle of this year, we'll offer 2. You'll have 11 Labs, and you'll also have the text-to-speech voices from ChatGPT. They'll be available. And then when our own voice engine comes in, like we're going to do with Voice Air, we want you to have a choice. We want you to be able to cherry pick the best that you think is good for you. That will do a number of things for our company, and it will reduce costs. What it will also do is give the users the ability to have the freedom to choose from languages that are not in 11 Labs, that are not in ChatGPT, and you'll find we'll do that definitely. Dubbing in multiple languages, consume multiple credits. Yeah, okay, great question. As it states on our FAQs and in our knowledge base. So if you're creating, your input video is 1 minute and you're creating from English to Spanish, that's an additional 1 minute. So your minutes will be 2 minutes. If you then want to add another language, let's say, for instance, Russian, just off the top of my head, and it's the same video, the same input video, be another 2 minutes. So every time you do a language, it will be the output will be deducted. The output minutes will deduct from what you're creating. Okay. Somewhere I see the new UI. When can we get access? Are you talking about DubAir? Because I've not shown anything on DubAir for the new UI. The reason why we've not shown it is because we haven't really started developing it yet or designing it to the level where it needs to be. But rest assured, as Alberto knows and Rabin knows in our community, we'll always update you. Voice Air next month, DubAir not at the moment. Will there be an API for DubAir in the future? Yes, if it's suitable for us and it works for us. And what our biggest concern right now is with the API for Voice Air, and it potentially be the same for DubAir, is we don't want it to be abused. And that's come from our CTO. I'm not really not up to date, but too knowledgeable on the APIs. I know what they do, obviously, but I don't know the intricate, technical spec, etc. for that. And again, the only answer I can give you on that is I can't say yes and I can't say no. But if it's viable, then it will be a yes. Okay. Can DubAir be tweaked to communicate emotions better than the original speaker's voice did? Yeah, I think I'm confident that it can, for the simple reason, because of what we're using with 11 Labs, the AI reads the context of what's being included, and each voice is independent. Each voice is different. You listen to the samples of what we have for Voice Air. You can actually right now, if you're not, I don't believe, Victor, that you're an LTD holder for DubAir, but if you go to voiceair.ai, you can actually listen to the voices. You get 100 characters free. You can choose the different voices and you can hear the emotions. You can hear the nuances. You can hear the intonations and the difference between all of the voices. And that's why we stand different to everybody else, because you'll find that a lot of the Amazon Poly voices and some competitors are using that, as well as Azure and a few of the other standard TTS voices. They all sound the same, whereas with 11 Labs they don't. Do you need Voice Air? Do you need to have Voice Air if you have DubAir? It depends on what you're creating. And I said this in December, and I'll continue to say this. They're two separate applications. If you're wanting to dub content in multiple languages, pre-recorded content, then DubAir is for you. If you are wanting to create content from scratch, then Voice Air is for you. I think that's probably the easiest way to explain it without chattering on. How are you managing both the products single-handedly? I'm not, because I'm not the developer. I've got 13 developers. I've got 3.5 marketing team. Then there's me, and I've got a couple of advisors. So I'm not single-handedly dealing with this. I have a fantastic team that I'm surrounded by, and these guys are not employees to me. These guys are instrumental into what we do, and I love and respect everything that they do. These guys are working at the weekend when I don't ask them to. They're working at silly o'clock in the morning. When I wake up at 4:30, these guys are messaging at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So we have a dedicated team. And for anybody that thinks it's just me, it's definitely not the case, because it just wouldn't be possible. Heard that you are planning to develop your own voice engine. What will happen to those users who bought the LTD for just 11 Labs voices? Some may not want to switch. You don't have to switch. You'll have the option to use our voice engine, ChatGPT's voice engine, and 11 Labs' voice engine. Again, the most simplest answer I can give you. Nothing to worry about there. How good is the lip sync depending on the different languages? So we did some tests, and our community is quite international. So we did one recently with King Charles in French, and I asked maybe 2 or 3 people who are native French speakers, and they were really impressed with it. And the lip syncing is good. And again, it all comes down to the distance. I don't think I mentioned that actually in the 4 points that Alberto asked me to raise. So the 5th one is the distance between the camera. If you're too close to the camera, the technology will not pick it up. If you're too far away from the camera, it won't pick it up. And we've done multiple tests with this. The perfect distance, or the optimal distance, is anywhere between 1.5 to 2 meters from the camera, minus the beard and the head movement and all of that. So the languages is not really an issue. It's more about the 5 points that I've mentioned. So hopefully, again, check out our knowledge base, gives you guidance on that. Test it. If it fails, try different methods, but follow those 5 points to get the optimal lip syncing up to 10 minutes. Which video formats can we export at the final output? So right now you've got MP4. We have WAV, and we will be also adding more April next month. Yeah, I think it was May. April next month, there will be more options in there. The whole point of what we're trying to do is to make sure that we don't restrict users in what they have for their export. So in April, you'll have more options there available to you. All of this proposed updates sound exciting. If you have been in our community, if you have been in our community over the past 5 or 6 months, it's just what we do. It's just our normal working day is to make sure we do the best we can. And the updates, we don't, whatever I've said I'm going to do along with our team for Voice Air, we've done. You've got subtitles in there now. You've got AI translation. You've got DALI this evening. The upload documents. All of these things have come and have taken us 4 months to get there. And we'll do exactly the same for DubAir. We will not stop. And we'll still continue even when we think we're at a good place. And that right now, DubAir is not at its best place. Will that happen? 100%. Can we manually edit the language translations? Yes, and you can do that in our rewrite feature, which is currently available. The other 3 features, Revoice coming the end of this month, Refine Remix next month. So yes, and you can do that. I like how the app isolates the voice from the background noise. I didn't see that in AI dubbing before. Yeah, so what we want to do, and I think it also comes down to authenticity and accuracy. What we want to do is to be able to give users the option to be able to add the background music or to remove it. And what we will be doing with 11 Labs, and I'm sure a lot of people here have seen, they're now offering the sound effects. So we'll add that in both. We'll add that in Voice Air, and we'll add it also into DubAir as and when that becomes available on the API. Do you count minutes on exporting or dubbing? We count minutes on when you export, but when you want to edit and then regenerate it, then the minutes will be counted again. So you'll get the dubbing, the lip syncing, the voice cloning in one. And then if you want to use any of the additional features that are coming this month and next month, that will change. We can't. It's not sustainable to give you, if you're creating a 5-minute video and you want to keep generating it and editing it, and you do that 3 times, that's an additional 15 minutes. It will put us out of business. So please be aware of that. And again, I do need to add that into the FAQs. So thank you for raising that. It's really important. It's a great question. And hopefully you have the confidence in what I'm saying and the answer as well. However, the lip syncing quality doesn't seem quite up to the standard I've seen in demos. Do you think it might have something to do with the servers being overloaded? All right, so there's two things to add to that. The first one is what I've mentioned with the 5 points for the lip syncing. That if you don't follow those 5 points, you will not get the output of what you've seen in our demo videos. Everything that's we've shown since December up until this week all comes from what we're doing. And if you follow those guidelines, those 5 points, you'll get a better output. Also, what we are doing by the end of this month is right now we literally, when we launched, we had like 60 people trying to create dub content, and it just blew the server up. So there was a lot of projects failing, and they still are failing. But again, you're not getting counted for those minutes. And I know it's a burden. I know it's frustrating. But by the end of this month, we'll be updating that so that the queue will be longer. Currently, it's 5 at the moment that's being processed. So when it does fail, that's the reason why, or one of the reasons, apart from the lip syncing factors. But by the end of this month, we'll increase it. Not just because we've got the current 75 LTDs that we're trying to sell, but because when we go live to the public at the end of April, possibly even May, I want to make sure this is perfect or as good as possible, which we've just done with Voice Air. So yeah, that will be reduced, mitigated, and you won't encounter as many problems. So I do apologize for that, but it will come. Okay. Can we dub multiple voices at a time? I mean, let's say in a video there are 2 people talking, debating simultaneously. Can we dub multiple voices? Yeah, you can. You can. Right now, there's 4. Is 4 working? Faceless, yes. If you're trying to do it with 4 actors on screen, 4 voices on screen, it can do it, but it will start to lose it. But that will change because not only because we need to do it, also because Vision Plus are expecting that from us by the end of this month or next month. So yes, the answer is you will be able to do that. Any plans to make DubAir zoom in on only single speaker's voice in a video where multiple people are speaking and get it to filter the rest? Zoom in. I don't know how difficult that is, and I don't want to give you a wrong answer. But for the final part of your question, yeah, we're actually already done that with Vision Plus, where we've had multiple speakers on, and what you can do is. So we thought it would be really difficult to do. And when we had the meeting with them, we said, you can't have 2 people over talking each other, 2 people speaking at the same time. What I'll do is I'll ask the head of our marketing next week to showcase the video that we presented to Vision Plus. And you can actually see what we had in November, possibly, in November, end of November. We'll showcase that for you, so you'll be able to see that, Victor, to see where we were, where we're going, and how we can make that better. So yeah, at the moment you'll be able to do that. Okay, ETA for dark mode. Well, we did it on Voice Air. Add it to our roadmap, and you want dark mode on there. I think we can do that by the end of the month. There's your answer. Are the final output sizes compressed without sacrificing the video quality? So again, as I mentioned earlier, at the moment, if you're uploading in 1080, that output file will be 720. Will that change? Yes, it will. You'll be able to have the choice of the size, the resolution of the output file. Right now, it's not available, but that will come. Possibly this month, but more than likely with a refine option in April. So you will have access to that, to the options. I love these questions. Right now, not on the roadmap. If we get enough demand for it, then yes. 3 minutes per month. Well, considering what that costs us and how many people are going to be using that freemium option, it all adds up. So to make it sustainable, some are only offering 1 minute. So we've given you 3, we've given you an additional 2, and people still complain. Is there a storage time limit on the platform? Okay, so this is a great question. We had a stand-up on Thursday relating to this. And what we're doing at the moment and what we're doing with Voice Air is we're giving users 2 months with their content. If the content that they've created at that 2 months has not been edited or used, and I don't like this, but at the moment, this is where we're at. That will change. Reason being purely for cost. So at the moment, you've got 2 months with your content. If you edit it, it will change. But please note that we want to get it to the point where you'll be able to not have to worry about that. That's really important for me. I don't want to restrict people, but obviously comes with us generating enough money to be able to offset such reasons. Jay, do you also offer add-on packages in the future? If someone reaches their limit from their current LTD, yes, Mohan, you'll be able to buy minutes. Same for what you can do with Voice Air. You'll be able to do for DubAir. There's not a problem. You just need to contact us, and we'll take care of that. Jay is a founder with realistic perspective, and I love that. I don't know. I'm just me, and I've got a fantastic team around me, and we know what we're doing. We're confident in what we're doing. We're showing what we're doing, and we'll just continue to just do exactly that to give you guys the confidence to to share, to really just stay with us. That's it. Stay with us for the long term, and we'll retain you as users, as our community, because we'll continue to push that. Do you push updates daily or weekly? Weekly. If it's something really important, it will get done. So, like for instance, when somebody raised the issue with the SRT being out of sync because the English to Arabic was longer, I think within 24 hours, not I think, it was raised on Thursday, and yesterday we changed that. So if it's something really key, yes, we'll change it, but the other updates will come weekly, major features monthly. Okay. Other than the SRT file, do you recommend any other format extension? Excuse me. That's a good question. At the moment, I wouldn't say so, because what our plan and one of our goals is to make sure that the SRT file, which actually does help with the output, both on the basics of lip sync and the speed of the content. So if your SRT file is edited and it's perfect, it will add more accuracy to the output. Okay. Yeah, Voice Air came a long way. Also, Jay is active all over the LTD communities and not just in his group. So he understands what we want and see. I think you've got to have your ear to the ground and your finger on the pulse to know what your community or what your consumers need. Because if you don't, you're creating software for the basis of for the basis of yourself, and that's not how you progress. It's not how you succeed. Because at the end of the day, if users don't like what you have, they're not going to use your app for very long. So we have to listen to you guys. And I love it. I love the constructive criticism that comes as well. One thing I like about Jay and Voice Market, he has the edge against the big player with his clear vision for what he wants for his tool. And it's very simple. We don't want to be, and some people might not like this, but I'm going to be very honest with you. We don't want to be the biggest player in the industry. We've got our targets. Both of our targets for Voice Air and DubAir are 25,000 paid monthly subscribers within 2 years. And that's 0.01% of the content creation market. So if we can't do that and achieve that, what's the point? 25,000 users. We'll achieve it 100%. Will you provide all updates for LTD holders or may introduce add-on? So at the moment, the only add-on that we are expecting is for the real-time dubbing, because it's just not sustainable to be able to include that in the minutes that you get in Innovator, Studio, or Agency Dub. Okay, what makes the agency plan unique apart from the minutes? Are there multiple workspaces? Yes. So we haven't included that right now because we don't know where we're going with it. But when you ask questions like this, that gives us more perspective of what we can add. So the investment for the agency, which is a considerable investment, anything that comes in from you guys, anything that's viable, anything that's going to be more productive for the users, we'll add it. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So the answer is yes, we'll add more features to the agency dub than you'll get within Innovator and Studio. How would a faceless channel video work with DubAir? Very, very simple. You only have to ask that the creation lady, I believe her name is Mary, Meri. Yeah. She created a faceless one and she was blown away by it. She was that blown away that she posted in our community.
I mean, for the mega giveaway, right,
Yeah.
Jay, there were some very good entries. Very, very good entries. I was really surprised that actually people went above and beyond to be creative about this.
Yeah. We'll do the same for DubAir because we've actually got, Garrett, if you go to our website or go to our YouTube channel, you'll see the faceless videos on there, and they are fantastic. People just think that dubbing has to be lip syncing, but
No,
at
no,
the
no, it's
moment,
not.
exactly right, exactly, Robin. The faceless content creation market is huge, and if you go and have a look, there's a guy showcasing an iPhone. We did it in Arabic, Spanish, Dutch, and I can't remember the other language. And I shared it with native speakers, and they loved it. So the faceless content creation with DubAir, this is what I want to try to get across to people: is it's not just about having speakers on there lip syncing it. The faceless content at the moment is by far the most superior out of all of the work, out of all of the use cases. Do you have also a plan to add to learn features to the app so that we can correct some incorrect translations from the rewrite feature? Do you also plan to add the learn feature? So what you can do right now, as I said, yesterday we published a specific button on the SRT, which is related to your question for the rewrite feature. So what that actually does, it will give you more accuracy to the original SRT being translated. It will go again and it will match perfectly with what you need. And also we're in the process of, it's not going to happen this quarter, but at some point in Q2, possibly by the end of Q2, we're actually going to be giving courses, automated courses for users to be able to maximize and create great content. I think that's right now is a really key role for what we want to do. And yeah, that will come in time. Why did you create a separate software for dubbing? You could have had dubbing features in the voice. That's a great question, but we couldn't because what we have in Voice Air right now, if you have Voice Air, it would just be ridiculously drowning in features. And for us, Voice Air is my baby. Both of them are, but we wouldn't have been able to do it the way that we want to create it. So the reason why so it's like basically saying, you look at 11 Labs, they offer dubbing in their platform, but their dubbing's, and I'll say it, and if people have heard me say it, it's really poor. It's not at the standard of even what we've got right now, and they're a 100 million plus company. So we don't want to dilute the product of Voice Air by bringing in something else, and we want users to be able to create on focusing content from scratch with Voice Air, and they're two separate products. And for us, that's the way that we're going to be. If face remains straight, it don't look natural. So you need to work on the software so it works even on moving heads. Thank you for highlighting that. And as I've mentioned, that comes with time. So if you go and have a look at all of our competitors right now, nobody out there has it perfect. And anybody that thinks that it should be perfect right now needs to really just take a look at the quality of the content that's out there. But it will come. It will come. Is DubAir cannibalizing VO, or will the new feature in VO make them stand out as separate features? I don't think it's cannibalizing it, Garrett. I think it's just an addition to reach a global market. Because if you look at voice artists, not everyone's multilingual. Not everyone can speak 29 languages. I don't know anybody that can speak 29 languages. So it's actually a benefit for businesses to be able to reach further afield. And for me, I think it's a positive for the voiceover industry, which I've been involved with for 23 years now. What do you need to get more voices? Are you offering compensation for those willing? Yeah, I like the question. So right now, we don't have control over the voices. 11 Labs do. So what you can do through 11 Labs, and they're actually paying people for that. I don't know how the actual structure to the payments are working, but we don't. It's not us with the data set. So at some point when we start to build our own voice engine, yeah, we'll work something out with people to help that progress. But at the moment, we're not. There's no incentives because we're not in control of that. Is it a good idea to work on your own voice engine? It will reduce dependability. Yeah, again, as I've mentioned in this call and over the past few weeks, we definitely will do that. That's probably the easiest answer for it. I see if guessed all of our questions. Mine got answered in the very beginning. All right, nice.
So I guess that's most of it. Thank you, Jay.
No problem.
So
That was like a
we have
marathon.
one more question.
Yes. Would it be possible to have one speaker talking in one language and the second speaker in another language? Well, if you actually look at the UI of DubAir, you can actually choose. Okay, if you go to the dubbing process, you can actually choose different speakers there, and you will be able to have the output in multiple languages. But at this stage, to have one speaking in Spanish and one speaking in English, that will come, I think, just before May. So pretty much in April. So the answer is yes, you'll be able to do that, Anil. Right now, no, but you will be able to do that. Definitely. I think it's a really cool thing. I want to put my sunglasses on now as well.
No, I'm just going to the dark mode.
I like it. Like it. Are you working on both apps simultaneously, and how many active users do you have on both at the moment? Good question. I'll do my best to spread the word in my community of filmmakers. I appreciate that. So to answer your question, yes, we are. Right now, we flip back and forth. We've got 3 dedicated developers on DubAir. We do get maybe 1 or 2 out of the other 8. We've got total 13, sometimes that jump in and help. But our goal right now is to, by the end of this month, get VoiceAir in a position where we're not adding more features. We're just updating the UI and just tweaking a few things to make it where it's an app that doesn't need any more. Again, we don't seek adding multiple or tens of features, which will just dilute the whole focus of what we're trying to create. And for DubAir, again, it's the same blueprint that we're going to use for, as we've been successful with for VoiceAir. So yeah, just keep watching, stay in our community, keep your eyes out on the LTD pages, and you'll keep getting updates. Can you please share how and there was one more, sorry, there's one part in that, how many users. So for DubAir right now, there's just over 80 because we haven't launched it publicly. We're keeping it within our community for many reasons. And for VoiceAir on mobile, on Android, there's 10.9 thousand active users. On iOS, there's less than a few hundred because we only launched on iOS again just over a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And then people that have signed up through the website, just short of a couple of thousand. So yeah, we're starting to make good progress. And once we're happy with VoiceAir, we've just signed with a huge marketing company in Singapore. They actually, I'm sure most people know who Stranger Things are. I know you two guys do. They actually promoted Stranger Things in Asia. They were given a contract from Netflix. So if anybody wants to check out Roas, ROAS.
I know about Roas.
Yeah.
They have some operations in Kuala Lumpur as well.
Yeah, they do in KL. So my good friend Mark, who was at Facebook for 13 years, is good friends with Rich, who's the founder of Roas. And once we had our call a couple of weeks ago, he was blown away by what we're doing. And we need, and I'll be very honest with you, and some people might get spooked by this, but I think a lot of people appreciate it. I can only take the company so far. I can only continue with the energy that I've got, and our developers can only take it so far. And my expertise is in sales, marketing, but marketing from many years ago. The whole landscape's changed within the past few years, right? So what better way to to get us to the point to the next level than bringing in a company that is renowned for taking startups into the next realm. That's where we are. So I'm happy you've heard of them, Rabin.
Yeah, because I managed technology and digital products for some media companies before, so we get to know about these names.
Of course. Yeah, they're really. I was really impressed by them. So yeah, you're going to see more of that within our community, and we'll probably share that across the LTD pages or the SaaS pages as well. So that question there, this is a really good one, and I want to be very clear on this, and I'll categorically state I did mention it earlier. So we have Voice Air, we have DubAir. There'll be no more airs this year. Oh, there'll be no more airs this year. Listen. One thing that I have to be very clear on is I personally, for me, I see a lot of companies that roll out 4, 5, 6, 7 different products, and that's great if they're with their their business model. But for us, we have 2 fantastic apps, and they're not at the level of where they need to be. So why would I bring in, like someone mentioned in December when we launched the initial 75, there were some funny comments about it, but I think it's really important for people to understand, the people that have invested and the people that are going to invest in the LTD, that know that these 2 products now, until they are at the position that they need to be, and that they're bringing in a few thousand paid users every month, there's nothing else in my peripheral. My full focus is to make sure Voice Air and DubAir by the end of this year are in a better position than where they are today. That's probably the best answer. When DubAir are going to be available to the public?
It's already available.
Well, it is, but it's not the free trial should be available now, so you can go to the website and try it. But to the public, I'm not going to release it until I'm happy. So I'm like, we were aiming to release it next week on the 15th, but it's not there. I can't put something out and it come back, because again, to put myself in a user's shoes, and I said it to Rich actually at ROAS, I think yesterday, and I said to him, what I want is, I'd want people to go wow when they buy it. I don't want people to go oh. So they see a really good promo video, they go to the app and they're like oh, right, rather than wow. So at the moment, DubAir is an O. Voice Air is nearly a wow. Once the new UI goes on, it will be, I promise you, next month, once that new UI goes on by the end of April, it will be a wow product. Without fail, the new UI will be the kicker for us to go, and we'll do exactly the same with DubAir. If 2 persons are speaking different languages, how would they understand each other? Well, if you, for instance, okay, that's a cool question. I see it as like a bit of a smart question. So, for instance, if I watched the boxing last night, the Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou fight, and there were multiple. What's the word? Like you've got ESPN and Danzin and all of these, and what you can do with that is, and UFC are doing it anyway. They did it on the press conference yesterday. There was Spanish fighters, and the people asking the questions were speaking in Spanish, and then they had a translator coming in speaking in English. So it's exactly the same, that you're going to be able to have that, to be able to differentiate the different languages in the content. There's content out there for it. There's a demand for it, so we are doing it. Sorry, got 2 dogs that will pee. If never, don't walk them. When will the discount code be made available? It'll be made available as soon as the dynamic duo make it available.
I think yes, so I can actually give them the hint.
Okay.
The code will be, you will be able to use the code is RR, which is basically my name, RR 30. So I guess Jay will set it up. So go ahead, guys, and you can get the 30% done.
Okay. So
I'll post it in all the places.
yeah.
So you get a visual reference as well.
Yeah, and all you need to do for DubAir, just to give people a bit of guidance, you just go to DubAir.ai and you choose the LTD that you want. What that will do, so everyone's clear, so you're not going in blind, you won't pay through Paddle, which isn't set up yet because we're not releasing it to the public yet. So what the process is, it will open up once you choose your LTD. It'll open up a text field. Put your name in. Choose the LTD that you want. You put in the code that Rabin is given you or will give you after this live, and that will send an email to us. We'll then send you a payment link. And as everybody, pretty much since we had all our problems with Stripe and PayPal, most people for LTDs have paid through our main company account, which is Wise. You'll have two options to pay. If you have a Wise account, you can pay Wise to Wise. If you want to pay on a card, a credit card, you can do that. As soon as you've paid, usually it takes 2 days to be credited to our Wise account, but as soon as we get the notification that you've paid, we'll get you access to both to DubAir, because that's what we're discussing this evening. So yeah, hopefully that clears it up for you. And thank you. Appreciate that last one there. We're serious about what we do. We're not here to just participate. We're here to take over and do what we need to do and create VoiceAir and DubAir as a hub for content creation, both from scratch and pre-recorded. So thank you. Can DubAir suppress or wipe out specific words from the audio? Yeah, you can do that in rewrite. You can remove it. You have to remove it in the original SRT file, and then it will take it out in the converted one. Okay.
So far as it stands, you answered pretty much all the questions.
Yes, and
but they still keep
I
popping
did
up.
I did a count, guys. And just imagine he answered 80 questions.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a marathon.
That's a huge thumbs up by itself.
Because we're at 55 minutes when you started answering questions. Now we're at 2 hours. So you've been over an hour just answering these questions and
Not a problem. Not a problem. And look, at the end of the day, I'll answer another 80, because what it does from my point of view, it builds confidence in people, because they want to hear what we're doing. They want to know, where we're going. They want to know what we have right now and what's going to be happening. And if that builds confidence and builds trust with people, I'll spend all night until I fall asleep doing that.
Yeah. I love the 3D artwork.
So
I love the 3D artwork you have behind you, Jay.
Oh, really? Oh, that's my
really
daughter.
Nice.
This is my inspirational wall. Because some days I get really some days I just get so shattered from the hours that I work. And she's my inspiration. So that's my little guardian angel there. And then whenever I start to get a little bit lost, I just look at that. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, it's really cool. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So normally you see the drawings just on there, but you see the butterfly in 3D.
Yeah. She's done them. To be fair,
that's really nice.
I couldn't even do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't even.
I couldn't either.
Actually, my streaming room is full of my daughter's artwork.
Nice. I love it. Yeah. Why not, eh? Why not? That's what we do it for, right?
Yes.
For our families. And that, for me, I think is a real key factor. And, I'm not a single guy. I'm married. I've got a 9-year-old daughter. And, sometimes I have to try to realize, or not realize, but to be aware that work is really important, but also family time is really important as well.
Oh, definitely.
I came at the end of last year where I was pretty not spending much time with my daughter, but I've started to find the balance now. And yeah, my dedication to my family and my work is second to none. And that's me just blowing my own trumpet. The Energizer Bunny strikes again. Listen, let me just say very quickly, Garrett. Garrett bought our Voice LTD sometime last year, probably around the middle of the summer. And the content that he creates is unbelievable.
Oh, yes.
It's really, really good quality. Really good. On it, on his series, on his podcast that he does. And for me, this is what spurs me on. It's just listening and seeing, and like you just mentioned, the quality of the content that's being created. And the biggest frustration for me is not from the user's content, but from our side and them saying, I use CapCut or I use Midjourney, and I'm like, damn it. But next week, well, actually, tonight we're not going to be mentioning it in the LTD community, but tonight we're launching the DALI, and you can add images as well as videos into the timeline. The timeline is not where it needs to be, but next month with the new UI, yeah. I'm smiling. I'm so happy. So, and that's for you guys. It's for us, but it's more. I'm more excited for you guys to not have to go outside of the app to create content. And I think that for me is a key point for our company to be fully aware that that is really important to us, to make sure that you can use Voice Air and DubAir in the coming weeks and months without having to use third-party applications.
Thank you so much,
No
guys.
problem.
So we have crossed 2 hours. So this could be our longest live stream so far. And I wanted to add that this is a journey. This is not that you stop and the software is done or the product is done. It's not. It's never done. It's a constant progress moving forward.
100%.
So keep that in mind, because every time you go in and maybe something doesn't work, give a feedback. Talk to Jay, or shoot them an email.
Yeah, we've got the bug report feature inside of DubAir. It's there for a reason. It's there to help us grow. It's there to help mitigate the problems. It's there for us to be aware of the problems and to also to return and reflect on, we will fix them. And if we're not aware of them, and then people are like saying, "Oh, I want a refund because it's not working," we're like, "Well, tell us what it is. We'll get it fixed." And then you're not going to be in that mindset. So for us, it's important communication between both user and the company is key for the progress for both ourselves and the user. And without that communication, if that communication fails, it's not a good thing. So we'll do our very best to do that. Here he is. Here's our friend. Here he is. My friend, we've got a phone sat in Mumbai right now. He won his giveaway, his Christmas. His giveaway prize is in Mumbai. We've had a right ordeal with it over the past 24, 48 hours. But Tower's a really good person. He's been an avid supporter of us, and I know most of the people that have spoken or answered questions tonight. And I want more to come and join us, and I can get to learn about those people as well. Keeping that in mind, that I will always keep our feet on the ground, no matter how big we get. I will always have time for the people that have supported us, and especially you two guys as well. I really appreciate you both.
Yep, our third, I think third or fourth stream, and all of it, I absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
That the interactions, and he goes into so much detail and explains it. Not all founders have that. What do you call that? The gracefulness to actually go through all the questions, whether it is 80 questions or 50 questions, it doesn't matter. But he actually does it, and that's a great respect by itself.
It's just part and parcel. It's part and parcel of being a founder. You just got to have that energy, Sorry, Albert, what were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was just saying that I gave you, after answering questions for 30 minutes non-stop, I gave you a chance to stop to see, how you were doing. Yeah, you kept going on for another hour.
Yeah, I'm a machine.
But it just shows the love and passion again for your product, and all the lives that we've done. You've showed that love and passion, and just how your face lit up and with all that excitement when you were just talking about what's coming out in Voice over Air in the next month.
Yeah,
it just goes to show that you're not just like everybody else. You really care about the product.
Definitely.
You're in it for the long haul.
Yeah, for me, it's solely about being able to provide something that people can use. And when we get reviews as recent as the Lady Mary, and the reviews that some people have put on on our Play
Good.
Store, on the mobile app, and people commenting, not so much in our community, and it's fine. I don't need people to pat me on the back to say, or our team, what we've done. But when we do get it, it's really lovely because it's just nice to have that kudos and to be acknowledged for what we're doing. And you both of your words this evening just light me up in a way that it just. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just love what I do. I love it with a
Mm,
Yep,
passion.
absolutely. That is the most important part of it all. So if you do
yeah.
not love what you are doing, then all of it will become your burden, and it will
Definitely.
feel like work, and
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
working
Yeah.
for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So it will feel like that.
Yeah.
And
100%. That's a great
when you're
comment.
loving what you're doing, that is exactly where it makes all the differences.
Yeah. I
So
think,
But
yeah, sorry.
but plus, you're not sending somebody else from your team to do this. You're doing this
oh
Oh,
yourself.
yeah, yeah,
no, no.
absolutely.
So
Unfortunately, it's my face that's the face of the company. But
Yes,
why would again? You've heard me say it. Why would I not want to lead from the front? I'm a good manager. I've learned managing skills many years ago, and I truly believe. And again, I'm saying that with a passion for what I do. And why would I want to not be proud of what our team has done, what I've done, even though I don't really sort of think of myself as doing anything special, because I don't look at myself like that. But the focus for me is if I'm buying a product, and that's why I've always been successful in sales, because I always put myself in the client's shoes. How does that client want to be treated? I'm a sucker when, like, I go into a restaurant and I'm not served properly, and you get bad service or all of these things. So for me, the reason why we will continue to progress is because I'll always have that connection of, is a user going to be happy with that? No, right, let's change it. Is a user going to find that difficult to use? No, yes, let's change it. So for me, that's why we will succeed in what we do, because of the users and us being able to translate what they're thinking and listening, and the way that we can listen to that. There we go. What's he saying? Jay always gets excited in positive ways when he talks about his products. That's explained how much love. It's
yes,
simple, isn't it? If you put as much hours in, if you put and I'll speak for myself here, the amount of hours that I put in on a weekly basis, and at the moment, I'm not really seeing, and it's fine because it's just part and parcel. I'm not seeing the rewards personally, but in the company and for the users and for the team and everything that's happening, I just have to enjoy it. I don't wake up in the morning and go, oh God, I've got to do another 18 hours today. I just get on with it and deal with it. And I appreciate what I do. And you know why I appreciate what I do? Because I've been in jobs and I see people. I live here in Indonesia and I see people doing jobs, and you just know that they don't like them, and they have to get up in the morning, and maybe the boss is treating them like crap. And I'm very lucky and I'm very privileged to be in a position of what I can do. So for me to not have the love and the passion for what I do, then I wouldn't deserve this position of where I am right now. So for me, that's what I reflect to everybody, and I think that will stand us in good stead as a company to get us to where we need to be. I don't really think about it, but when something pops up, I do, and I'm like, wow, I'm so fortunate to be able to, even though I
definitely,
work damn
definitely.
hard, I'm fortunate to be in a position where I can do what I do, smile the way I do, spend 2.5 hours on a live when there's other people out there that don't have that opportunity or whatever. And for me, I'm just very grateful to be sat here, even though it's 11:15 at night, it's fine. I'm not moaning about it at all. I'm grateful to have the time of you guys and the 20 plus 25 people that are spending 2 hours with us listening to my bloody English voice for that period of time. So, yeah, I'm grateful. I'm very grateful.
So thanks again, Jay, and thanks, Alberto. I know it's very early for you, and for us, I think for Jay is almost 11. Or
Yeah, it's 11:16 right now.
yeah, so mine is midnight past 16. So thank you so much, everyone who stick until the end of this show. It means a lot to us, a lot to Jay, and a lot to
Definitely.
everyone in our group.
Thank
So
you.
I have already given you the code. So what you need to do, just keep a patience a little bit because Jay have to create the code. It's a surprise code because 30% is a lot of deduction or discount.
Yeah.
So give him an hour or so, so he will be able to put in the code in the system, and then just follow the link and apply the code and continue checking out. That's about it. And I
Yeah.
don't think anybody else can give you this 30% discount on the spot.
No, and
So
that's it. We're
keep
doing
that
it
in the
for
mind.
24 hours. And then the
Yes,
discount
it's
drops
only for
down.
24
Yeah,
hours.
24 hours, and it drops back down to 15
Yes.
percent at midnight Sunday. So in just under 24 hours. Yeah. 23 to be precise, 23 hours and 43
Yes.
minutes. There
To be technical about it.
you go.
Yes. And Alberto, you have anything to say? Then we can close the show.
Yeah, so I appreciate everybody in the audience. You guys stuck around for a very long time,
Mm,
but it's not hard to do with all the passion that Jay showed. It's definitely not boring. You feel that energy, and it helps motivate you too. I really appreciate Jay letting us do this live. And I appreciate that the investment in his tools, you could see where it's going. You could see how
Yeah.
it progresses time and time again, and you see how he takes time out in his community. So if any of you guys are not in his community or in the borderline of should I get this, check him out in his community. Look
thank
at the
you.
previous lives that he's done. Just amazing work and amazing, amazing passion, especially with there's certain things going on in his life right now, and yet he's still pushing through and
Oh,
trying to balance
definitely. Yes.
everything. And it's
Mm.
it's it's a lot of amazing effort that he's putting in.
Thank you.
Um, yeah,
And
thank you,
I,
Jay. Thank you.
no problem. And I'll just very quickly add to that as we grow and as we progress and the money starts to come in and the zeros start to come in more and more, some people will be like, "Oh, please don't do any more lives," but I won't stop. I'll continue to. I will continue to do this until I get to a point of where I can't do it anymore, and that's not even entered my mind. So you ain't getting rid of me that quickly. And as throughout this year, as we grow, I won't lose this because it's really important to me. It's a real key factor to why we can grow because you guys supporting us, everybody in our community, we won't lose that. So yeah, thank you very much for the marathon live, Philippe. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.
You guys are amazing. Our audience, it takes a lot of patience to actually run through 2 hours plus live, and you guys stick
Mm,
around, and that is extremely helpful for us, for channels like us. Like we are trying to help founders and also the people like us who also use the SaaS products. So again, short advertising for us. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe for
yeah,
the video
definitely.
so it gets shared. And it gets shared means people get to know about this product more. And
Yeah.
at the same time, you get more options and live shows and giveaways related to WordPress and SaaS products. Thank you so much. I
And
really
let us know
appreciate
how we
wherever you are,
Thank you.
and have a wonderful night or day wherever you are. So
and
Definitely.
I
let
will
us
see you
know
in the next video.
let us know how we can improve also. And then Jay,
Yes,
also wasn't
definitely.
isn't there a discount after the 24 hours that you were gonna
Yeah,
provide
so
too?
yeah, so there'll be a 20% discount for your channels for the people that are coming in. So it'll be 30 for the next 23 hours and 40 minutes. And then
Mhm.
after that point, so Monday, the discount will be 20% for you guys. Yeah, no problem at all. I really
Thank you.
appreciate you both.
Amazing. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thanks,
guys.
Jay.
All right, take
Thanks
care.
everyone.
See you
Take
later.
care
Thank
of
you,
yourself.
everyone.
All right, bye
I will
bye.
see you in the next video.
See you later,
Bye.
guys. Take care. Bye bye.